Game Fanatic.
What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan game, and I know it's been a while since I've been, since I've uploaded the video, but your boy's been under the weather, just recovering from a cold or a bad flu. I'm not sure what it was, but it was knocking your boy out. But yeah, this is gonna be my first and probably only reaction video because I don't want to be one of those video reaction people because I don't even like that idea. Like you're making money off of other people's work and all you're doing is just giving your reaction on it, and it's kind of the laziest route to me, in my opinion, to get. And watch this be used against me if this pops off and I actually start doing it. But it's kind of the laziest way of getting notice on YouTube. But anyway, I was hearing some stuff about a comparison from Crobat of Far Cry 5 versus Far Cry 2. And I heard it was crazy. Like somebody, I think it was Hardy, he was like, man, I don't understand people going nuts for Far Cry 5, especially with that comparison out. These guys must be easily impressed or they've forgotten or something like that. So I was like, let me go check this out now. I saw the video but never watched it. I saw the link of it. This is going to be my first time watching it. So it's going to be a long video, so let me go ahead and stop talking because it's like 20 minutes long. So yeah, let's get this reaction going, man. So on a new game, you can't shoot through like plywood, and it's showing on the old game you can shoot through plywood and you can shoot through like metal that was thin metal and stuff like that. This is all stuff that I probably always preach about in like the gaming community because I notice stuff like this all the time. Is this the second game? Yeah, this is definitely the second game. I'm looking at the textures. Oh, that's a fire physics or whatever that came from Far Cry 3 that I remember seeing. I didn't play Far Cry 2. Or 1. Oh, man. But when I tell people these developers don't try hard or their games are not the same, people like hate me for it. That is crazy. And when did Far Cry 2 release? Didn't it come out like 2009 or something, or 8? Alright, so that was the attention to detail. My God, man. And you know what's funny? Before I decided to watch this and do this, I was like on Digital Foundry and they had a video talking about this comparison. And I didn't watch it because I didn't want anything to be spoiled. So what's going on here? It's a new game, okay, alright.
One day you'll see.
Alright. So I didn't want anything to be spoiled, so I didn't watch it. So what I did was I just took a look at the first few comments to see what they could have been talking about. And pretty much they were damage controlling. They said they dropped realism for fun. But you can have fun with realism. Actually, it makes the immersion better. Oh, wow, look at this. So on the new game, they just bleed out and die. They don't even try to do anything. But on this one, they at least try to give you... On the old game, they at least try to fight you on their last stand. And yes, the game is ugly, but it's an old game, so that excuse just gotta be gone. I mean, it's a game that came out way back in like 2008 or something. So look at this. My man found cover and hid behind a rock. That is crazy.
Sit down, man. I'm coming.
They're helping their down teammates, cuz. Wow. It looks like he wanted to get up, and he's like, nah, I just want you to kill me. Oh, he picked him up. Okay.
Stay sharp and watch the high ground. Someone's out there. Shit, he's bleeding out fast. Cover me.
Make it quick, Doc. The boy's in trouble. Crash, man down. Can anyone reach him?
Cold. So cold. I need cover fire.
Yo, he's picking him up and carrying him to a safer spot. Or not. Never mind. That kind of reminds me of Full Metal Jacket right there. That's crazy that he literally was attempting to pick the guy up and I'm guessing carry him over to like cover. Alright, so I'm guessing they were talking about the bushes there. And the bushes moved on the other. See, I'm gonna talk about this after the video. They're gonna have to patch Far Cry 5 after this. Or add mod support for PC at least. This is crazy. It's not exactly crazy. Like I said, I've been saying this for a while, man. But whenever I ridicule a game, I'm a hater. When I say things were missing, people just damage control it, and I'm just not a damage controller. Like, I don't think you should ever scrape anything from a game. You should always go forward. Like, I've never been one of those people who like when you add something or have something in the game and then you remove it and then try to cover it up, sweep it under the rug. Like, I hate that. Bro, it's like eating the trees. This must be the old game. This can't be the new game. Yeah, this is the new game. I know the environment. Yeah. That's crazy. So when he goes faster, the trees actually fly. Look at the leaves. Look at that. What happened to the physics, man? What happened to the physics in gaming, bro? Far Cry. I mean, Crysis. If you ever played the original, that looks so good. Oh my god! I know what I think I know why this stuff has not been in the game since this generation that they're showing here with Far Cry 2. Like, Crysis has had those physics, man. It was insane when you throw a grenade in the trees and stuff, like, and you didn't see it since Crysis 2 and 3 didn't have that. What happened? I don't know what I was supposed to have seen. Wow. All right. Wow. Explosion looks prettier. Whoa. Nope. Never mind. Oh, that's messed up. That's completely messed up. Oh, that's really messed up. Better go scan it. And a whole bumper came off. Only thing would have made that better though if the limbs and stuff flew off. But it's showing how the physics were still better back then. It's crazy. So many shortcuts, man. So many shortcuts. Look at that. I guess them graphical downgrades, man. If you had to choose, either you wanted physics or the graphical downgrade. Physics or graphical downgrades or shooting lights out or graphical downgrades. Kind of makes me want to play Far Cry 2. Like I kind of feel like going in the past and playing that instead of playing Far Cry 5. Wow. Didn't they just show that kind of technology for Final Fantasy on the PC? They literally did. That's sad. I guess it's a new game. Doesn't look bad. But that looks much better. That looks good. And again, that looks much better. Wow, I didn't know this game looked that good. Like I remember seeing this game back in the day, and I wasn't impressed when I saw them, you know, showing trailers and demos of it. If they'd have shown him peeing, I'd have been impressed. Oh, they still got that in the game. Or had it in the game back then. That's crazy. Even you're getting hit by those flying bullets. That's so much attention to detail. Like, that's crazy. And I've noticed this change. Like, I've noticed a lot of games have not had a lot of attention to detail, and that's what I love. Clouds stay the same, but the old when the clouds actually moved. Y'all gotta rethink Far Cry 5, guys. All the people that's blowing it up on Twitter that I've seen. Y'all gotta rethink it, man. The story may have been good, but man, this is crazy. And I'm not going to front like the gameplay still can't be fun. I'm definitely sure the gameplay is still fun, but that make you. This just makes you think. I don't really think that's all needed though. They could keep it the way they have it with that. Oh, he's got idle animations. Wow. It's low-key disgusting. Oh, that's really disgusting. I don't get it. Oh, the gun breaks. Oh, that's crazy. The guns jam up. So you must have to clean them, keep them, repaired on the old games. Oh yeah, they break. You gotta shoot the tire and it's gonna knock the whole flat. Or is this about vehicles? Still in pristine shape, not dirty. I'm guessing that's what they're showing here. This is dirty. I already had this, but it's got dirt and mud on it.
Nope.
That's better. Again. Hit me again.
I'm a little different about this because like it would take too much time. So I would see why they would make it so you could just pick a run on up on the newer ones. Now, is it cool that they had it like this in old one? Yeah. He OD'd that man.
What are you waiting for?
Well, well, folks. Yeah. That's something else. So again, I've always felt that there were things left out in these newer games. You know, after Half-Life 2, like Half-Life 2 was the pinnacle of immersion in video games with great physics along with graphics, and great storytelling and things and stuff for you to do, especially when it came to shooters. Like, how many shooters nowadays use puzzles? Like, that game used physics puzzles like crazy, and it was so good. And since that game released back in like 2000, I think it was 2004 or 5, a lot of games after it, you know, were making or using crazy physics engines to make their games more realistic. And it seems like midway through the lifespan of the 360 and the PS3 and the Wii that games started not using those physics and things, and I know why. Is because back at that time, the games that pretty much were doing that were games that were pretty much only on a PC for the most part, because only high-end PCs could handle those physics. Those physics, they are performance-based, and they need your processor to be able to run, and you have to have a pretty strong processors. And you know, to be honest, the 360 and the PS3, even though they were strong at the time, they just could not keep up with that, as well as running those graphics. So developers, and this is just me assuming, this is what I think, it's not legit, this is not fact, this is what I'm thinking. The developers had to make shortcuts and fine-tune their engines in order for them to have great graphics and still perform well, especially to run 60 FPS on the last-gen consoles, or even 30 FPS even on those last-gen consoles. Especially nowadays, to run 60 on these consoles that are out now, because their processors are very low in processors. Even though their graphics cards on their revised versions are better than what they were on their originals, their processors are still extremely low in processors. And they just typically cannot run these physics. And developers focus more for their games to work on the consoles than on PC. So they, you know, physics and things are unfortunately an afterthought. Because I was talking about Crysis 1. Crysis 1, still to this day, is like a benchmarking game. If you build a PC, you want to see how well it can run Far Cry 1. And Far Cry 1 came out in like 2007, 2008. And it still destroys a lot of computers. A lot of computers still struggle to run, you know, 4K or even 1440p maxed out on Far Cry 1. So it's still a mammoth, and there's a crazy bunch of mods that up the graphics on it, and the physics on it are still by far the best physics, other than Half-Life 2. They're the best physics engine I've ever seen in my life. Every tree moves. You can shoot limbs off. You can blow off tree branches when you throw explosions. It actually sucks in the leaves and blow them away. Like, it is by far the best physics engine I've ever seen in my life on a game, and that's why it's still hands down one of the best, you know, ways to test out your PC. But since then, with Far Cry 2, because Crysis 2, they took away all that. It wasn't open world anymore. They took away a lot of the fixes because Crysis 2 actually released on the consoles, the 360 and the PS3. And then Crysis 3, same thing. They had to take a lot of that stuff out of there. And that's why I came up with my, you know, my assumption on why, you know, we don't see that anymore. It's because of the consoles. The consoles couldn't handle it. So I think that's the reason. It's unfortunate. You'll typically probably only see stuff like that if it's a PC only game. You may see those physics, you know, come back and things like that, or see a whole bunch of detail in a game where if you shoot this lantern, it actually breaks and stuff like that. If you shoot this fan, it actually spins. If you shoot this light, it actually goes out. Stuff like that. You may see that if it's a PC only game, but for the most part, I don't think we're going to see stuff like that anymore because the consoles just can't take it. They would have to dumb down the graphics a lot for the consoles to actually be able to run those games. So not sure if we'll ever see it again. But anyway, I know this was a long reaction video, but it was a 20-minute video I had to watch and I had to talk after it. So anyway, if you liked the reaction, and I'll probably, if I ever do one again, I'll probably try to choose something that's shorter. But it's your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan of Gaming. And I'm gone. Bye!